after morning, man Liptions. It is that time of the week once again on a Thursday this time because I messed up the beginning of my week. It's neither here nor there, but you know what is here and there is the flipping heat because it's hitting 37 degrees here on the African continent. So if you are feeling the heat, imagine what your components are feeling. So that's why this week I thought it would be smart to do some water coolers so we can put your PC in a proverbial swimming pool. Now looking at the list, I realized I've pretty much used or built or worked with like the majority of the coolers and stuff on this list. The only one that I haven't worked with is the NZXT Kraken, which I know is very good, but I feel disingenuous putting it on the list when it's something that I haven't used. So beyond that, NZXT is just looking at you. But for the rest of us, let's jump straight into the top 10. And starting off the top 10 at number 10, it has to be a little Gum DS. These 240s and the Aura stuff, the new version is so much nicer than it was on their previous edition. You can see a lot more Tech influence, if you know what I mean, on these. And now the price versus performance is like considerably better. The new fans are much nicer. Everything has just been improved. You can see the new brackets and stuff. It's significantly better than it was on previous generations. And for a 240 for $1,000, these are like super hard to beat. And even saying that, though, at number 9, it's an Ali series because these are pretty much my best bang for buck water coolers, whether it's a 120 or a 240 or the 360, depending on what you need. Your only limitation on the series really is the coloring. That if I hope you like blue is basically the bullet points of that presentation. The reason it ranks high is it's got a better pump in it, and having tested this, the LS and the Castle all on the same sort of size, all on the exact same test bench in very similar conditions, they've scaled their product really well. So these are more budget. They do have one inherent advantage though, in that these are just straight rubberized, the tubing, so they can actually bend before they kink a lot more than other series. So if you've got a really narrow space, then this is absolutely perfect for that application. Coming in at number 8 is the Antec Symphony. This series does seem to be out of stock at the moment, and with pricing like that on a 360 with a 3-year warranty, it's no wonder. The 240s are incredibly good bang for buck. They hit about 1,400 Rand, and it's genuinely one of the better coolers at that price point. These pumps hit like 2,800 RPM compared to the Ali 500's 2,200. So if you can spring for a little extra cash, then these are really good. They've also improved the fans and now got full rubberized corners on all of their fans. They feel a lot better. I did a full Antec system for a guy with everything integrated on it, with a 240mm with push-pull, like the full end-to-end Antec experience. And I was very pleasantly surprised with the build quality. Coming in at number 7, it's a ROG Ryu cooler, not the Ryujin. I actually don't like the Ryujin. I find the pump face to be very large and cumbersome. This is a lot sleeker and neater over here. I really actually like this cooler. I used it during the 12900K launch. I had a 6900 XT water cooled with that 240 and then this 240 on the CPU. And while the 12900K with overclock and stuff obviously blew the doors off of this cooler, it still actually did a really good job. I say blew the doors off. It kept it sub 90 and full like 270 watts worth of current going through that CPU. So this is only really built for 200 watt and it's still actually managed to like hold on. It is a little bit premium. ROG tax is a real thing, but the overall build quality and stuff of this unit and the way it looks, just really, like, if you want something that looks really cool and has the performance to match, then this is a really good port of call. And number 6, it's the ROG Strix LC because it's basically the exact same as the Ryu, just they've taken out the LED, which obviously brings that price right down. And everything else in the kit is practically identical. So price versus performance here is just a little bit better, which is why it went one position ahead. Jumping into the top half at number 5, it's the Corsair H100. This is like baseline for me. For all testing, it's the test bench cooler for a reason. On that front, I literally got to select from a bunch of brands and I was just like, H100 is like fire and forget. I've absolutely abused mine and it just doesn't care. Like, these things are incredibly good for what they cost, from customization with your RGB, etc., to having some of the best fans, literally one of the best pumps you will find. This is on par almost with the Deepcool Castle as far as pump quality and fan quality goes. So it's right up there in the premium segment, except it costs a couple hundred Rand less. So if you want something as well that's easy to integrate, that you can just connect straight into your motherboard headers and then control from there, then look no further than the H100. Coming in number 4, it's got to be Deepcool's AK400, or just in general their AK Air series. If you're looking for an air cooler that's incredibly well put together, maybe you just don't like water cooling. I get it that there's a couple of users and stuff out there that just don't want water pumping through their PC, then look no further than these, because they're absolutely incredible for the money. This is rated to 220 watt, and I genuinely believe that. On the 12600K with overclock, with it pushing 150 watts, it got to like high 60s, which is incredibly good for an air cooler. And this is almost on par with Deepcool's own Ali 500. I was like, you guys are almost creating competition with your own product, because the price point on this is one of the major driving factors. You cannot get a better cooler than this for 500 bucks. Even the Hyper 212 was outperformed by this cooler. I don't know what they did differently. It's a very similar format, but this one just has blown every expectation that I had absolutely out of the water. No pun intended. Coming in at number 3, it's the Castle series from Deepcool. This is one of the best water coolers you can get. If you look at performance charts alone, it's pretty much second to the Kraken on pretty much everybody's testing, especially Gamers Nexus, who does like some of the best standardized testing around. While I don't particularly like how Steve presents, his data is incredibly good. So yeah, you'll see even with his data, these things are incredibly well performing, especially when you are looking at like fan noise versus overall performance. The pump, the header, everything on this is just incredibly good. It would have scored higher for me if you weren't locked into the Deepcool platform. That's my only real complaint about this, is it does seem like it's been made for integration more so with other Deepcool products than it has been made as like an open base standpoint. But $2.5 grand for literally, there's no 360 that can compare to this at that sort of money. Except for our number 2 spot, which is another Deepcool with the LS series. Once again, this is pretty much my go-to right now. This is literally my go-to product because you can easily integrate it with all of the other systems. It doesn't have quite as nice a pump face as I would say as the Castle does have, but overall, like, it's just an incredibly good product. The build quality, I mean, just look at the fans. You can see full rubberized corners on all of them. The attention to detail here, the build quality, everything is absolutely fantastic. And then the price point just cuts off that premium. And while it's right on the tail of the Castle is slightly better performing. It's so close that if you look at it like price versus performance, this is actually slightly better. This kit currently is the best price versus performance kit that you can get. But finally, in the number 1 spot, it's got to go to EK. These are the best performing coolers you can get. I don't particularly like the pump face. I think it kind of looks a bit basic and not very attractive, but the installation process was pretty good. The fans are very good, but the main thing is, if you're looking for a quietly performing product, this absolutely destroyed everything I tested. It even beat the NZXT with a maximum performance test or with the maximum fan test over on Gamers Nexus. So you know that this is literally one of the best coolers that you can get. And why is that? It's because of what they've done with the pump. In both this and the Elite series, which I've got one tab over, so if I just do that, you can see this has got a slightly nicer sort of mirror finished pump face, but it's basically the same thing, because that's where the real magic is happening with this. The pumps that they've employed are budget variants of their D5 pumps for open loops. So you're getting like one of the best pumps of all time in a closed loop system. And that was a genius stroke from EK. The result of this is literally like the best kits that you can buy. The Elites are kind of nice because they come with an extra set of fans as well, so you can do a full push pull, or if for instance you have a build with mismatched fans, you can put those in the other spots. So I for instance got one for a mate of mine for a present with a 360, and then he was able to use the extra 3 set of fans inside the case and all daisy chain them nicely together, and then they're all controlled on the CPU temp, or you can link them to GPU temp depending on your board, etc. But you cannot get, while they aren't the prettiest, as far as performance goes, this is the limit of basically what I've tested to date. There is nothing better. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Turbo Tortoise Tech top 10 coolers for 2022. If you have enjoyed this, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe, because I will be doing more top 10s basically until I'm finished with every category that I can possibly do a top 10 for. So until then, hope you guys stay safe, keep well, and I will see you on the flip side.